Hello, in this video I am going to show you how to set up Cocos2d-x version 4 on Windows, so you can set it up in Visual Studio and create Windows applications. If you're interested in doing this on Windows but to develop for Android platform, I've got a video covering that, so feel free to check that out. I've got videos covering all of this stuff on Linux and Mac as well, so depending on which platform and what platform you want to develop for, feel free to watch that particular video. If you're just here just for the sake of it, yeah, that's fine as well. I enjoy the views. Okay, so first of all, we need to download a few things. You need to download Cocos. You can go to cocos.com. And I'll provide a link to everything that you do need in the description, so you can either type it out with me or you can just get the links from the description. And as usual, I just want to say, if you know any of the links for whatever reason are broken out, whatever time, let me know. I'll give you a more updated link, but you know, they should be fine. So go to products, Cocos2d-x download, and just download the latest version, which currently is 4.0, but if there's 4.1, 4.2, 4.5, whatever, just download the latest one. So click download, and take me to this page. It will automatically start downloading here. I think it's about 700 meg or 200 meg. Okay, so I've already got it downloaded, so I'm going to cancel it. The next thing we need to download is Python. So Python, and go to downloads and go to view for list of downloads. We don't want version 3, we want the latest version 2. So go down and get this one, which is 2.7.16. or whatever the latest version 2 is. And then from here, you want to grab hold of one of the installer files. So x86 on its own is the 32-bit. If you have 64 in there, then that's the 64-bit. Feel free to download whichever you want. And if you definitively want to find out which one you have, if you go to your PC, go to System Properties, and right here I've got 64-bit, so I can download 32-bit or 64-bit. If you only have 32-bit OS, you have to download 32-bit. I'm going to download this one. It is downloading, and yeah, I'll let that go through the general process. Next thing we need to download is cmake. So we'll need this to build our project file. So go to download, let's go to the latest release, and you want to download the installer. Again, x86 is 32-bit and x64 is 64-bit. So feel free to download either one depending on your OS, and I'm going to download that. And let's go to show and find that. So we've already got cmake actually already downloaded. So I'm going to cancel cmake, and let's install cmake while we're here. So let's just open this up. Computing space requirements, blah 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 blah, just typical stuff. And click next. And I've already got installed, so I want to click, so ignore that. So you will just go through the general process, go through everything. If there's you can install it on whatever directory you want. I install it on my D drive. You can install it on your default C drive or somewhere else. If there's something about adding cmake to command prompt or terminal, the path file, select that. Otherwise, just go through it and install it normally. And yeah, make sure you got cmake. Next, what we want to do is install Python. So let me launch this up, and let's go to change. But you will actually be installing it. And you leave everything as default. The only one thing you want to make sure is add Python exe to path. But entire feature will be installed. Everything else, like I said, leave default is fine. And you can go to the advanced stuff as well if you want to. Yeah, just click next. It's installing it, and there we go. And to make sure that it is installed, if we open up command prompt, if you type in Python. If you get something like that, that's great. We can press Ctrl+C to exit out to that little Python terminal. And now if I type in cmake, we get something like that. Cmake has successfully installed as well. If the cmake thing doesn't work, or Python, just restart your computer. First I would say close down command prompt and reopen it if you had it open when you was installing it. If that doesn't recognize the commands, restart the computer. And as usual, any problem, just pop me a message and I'll assist you through the process. We'll actually need this in a second, so let me clear the screen. And now what we need to do, I can actually close this down now. So I've already got Cocos downloaded. I put it in a folder called development in D drive. Make sure you put it somewhere where you're not going to be moving it around, because this is what, you know, the Cocos command, which we'll be using shortly, will be referring to. So to extract it, right click, go to extract all and click extract. And you can use another extraction tool like WinRAR or 7-zip or, you know, whatever. I'm just using the built-in one, even though I do have alternatives, just to show you so it works for every single, you know, person. And okay, so yeah, just gotta wait patiently for this to extract. Hopefully the speed does start increasing. Okay, we're getting some. Oh, we had a speed increase there, and now it's decreased. Okay, so to save some time, I'm going to cancel this. So you just let this process complete. I'm going to cancel it. And what I'm going to do is delete this. And I'm going to extract it using 7-zip because that extracts it faster. But again, you can just go through the process of using the built-in extraction tool and just wait patiently. This is still saying quite a while as well. That is strange. Speeding up now. Yep. Ooh, it's getting some pace now. So let's just wait patiently for this to. Ooh, whoa! It's a nice increase in speed there. And now slow down. Hopefully that increase starts again. Oh yeah. Is he gonna get past to the pause button mark quickly? I've used these buttons on here just as like a little measuring guide. Still going. And we are done. Okay, so I recommend renaming this folder to just Cocos2d-x. That's just optional. Reason I said that is if later on you was to update Cocos2d-x, you could just update the contents and you there won't be any confusion in the version. So now what you need to do is run this file setup.py. That's a Python file, hence why we installed Python. Okay, so launch up your command prompt, and remember you can just do it like so, command prompt. And now what we need to do is type cd, and this allows us to change directory, and we want to change directory to this folder right here. So we get that, click enter. It has not changed. If you are on C drive, it would have changed. If you are not, and you are on a a different drive other than C, you need to put the drive letter, so capital D in this case, and capital D colon, yeah, there we go. So that allows us to change drives when we are doing the cd command. That's just a little useful bit of information when you are changing directory. Okay, so we need to run this setup.py command. To do that, type in python /setup.py. The / just means run it as an executable. Okay, so it's just doing the Cocos, roots, and it's already found them fine. It's asking for NDK root, which is for Android. We can skip that. Android SDK root, again, we can skip that. And he said, please restart the terminal or restart computer to make added system variables take effect. So if I close this down, reopen command prompt, and if I type in the word Cocos, If you get something like that, that is great. That means it has successfully, added the environment variable. If you get some error, just restart the computer and it should work fine. So let me clear this. And now what we're actually ready to do is actually create an application. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna what I'm looking for. Now I want to change directory. So I want to change directory to desktop, and like so. Or you can, CD and drag and drop a folder on. This is just where I'm going to create my project. So to create a project, you put in Cocos, new, then the name of your project. So I'm going to say epic game space -l space cpp for C++, JS for JavaScript, and Lua for Lua. So CPP, that's the bare minimum required. You can also add an optional parameter of -p, which is changing the package name. I want to put com.sonarsystems.code, epic game. Feel free to do whatever package name you want, depending on your, your domain, your company. Click enter. This will start creating the project, as you can see right there. Just copying all the Cocos files into it. This can take a little bit of time. I'll say about 5 to 20 seconds or so, and so just wait patiently. Once this is done, we're almost there now. We're almost there. You might hear my stomach growling. I've literally just had food as well. It's probably growling for more. Yay, it is done. Okay, so we'll still need the command prompt. If we open up our project folder, we have, classes here, we have resource files here, and then what we have is the Cocos library and then project files. The one we are interested in is project.win32. So open that up. At the moment, that's one other thing I forgot to show you. We need to also download Visual Studio. I forgot all about that. Okay, so go into here, Visual Studio, not Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio. Click download, just download the community edition, that is fine. And it'll start downloading. This is a very small file. This is basically just an installer file that allows you to select other, other versions of Visual Studio and download them. So click, this. Okay, so yeah, forgot about that. So we needed, Cocos, we need Python, we need the cmake, but we also need Visual Studio as well. So you probably will have nothing in the install section. This is what we need to download. If you go to available, it should be here. Because I've already got installed, it won't be there. But what you do, go to available. If this is the one, for example, you want to download, you click install. And if I click modify, this is a screen that you will get. Scroll down, and what you want to select under desktop and mobile is desktop development with C++. That is the one. So you'll get this, you click that, you'll select this, and that's it. That is literally all you need to do. Anything that's selected by default is fine. Don't need to select anything else. You will have an install button, so just click install. You can change the location as well when you are installing it for the first time, so just click install. You can take a bit of time because it's going to download Visual Studio. Once that is done, what I would recommend is launching up Visual Studio for the first time. And this is just once, for the first time when you install it. It can take a bit of time. It might also ask you to sign in as well, so just feel free to sign in using a Microsoft account. So that's just the Visual Studio setup. In here, in our project.win32, there's no Visual Studio project. Yeah, we need to actually create that using cmake. So that's where cmake comes into it. So if we open up command prompt, cd to this folder. And what we want to do is run the command cmake space .. space dash capital G space quotation mark and visual. So type it the way I'm typing it, Visual Studio 16 2019 quotation mark space dash a win 32. So I am going to click enter. This will start in our project.win32 file folder. Let's move this over here so you can see it. You will start, doing all the compilation stuff and actually creating the project based on the compiler that we've selected. And as you can see, we've got this solution file right here. It's all being created. That's great. That's all good. Now let me show you something. So if I make this incorrect, you don't need to necessarily do this, but you can, because what this does, because it's not a recognized, generator, it shows you all the other generators that are supported. So you could select Visual Studio 15 2017 for an older version. So if you have 2017, that's fine, that'll work as well. And so you would just change that to Visual Studio 15 2017 and leave the a-win32 command the same. Obviously you could do it for something like code blocks, for something like Sublime as well, or Eclipse. And yeah, that's it. So we can actually close this down now, and what we want to do is open up epicgame.sln. so that's the solution file. So whatever your project was called .sln, that's what you need to open, and just let this go through the process of preparing the solution. And now what we're going to do is click this button right here, and this will go through the process of compiling it. There is going to be a lot of files to compile. It's going to be like 600 odd, so you just got to wait patiently. This can take a bit of time. This usually is a one-off process, compiling all of these files. So once it's compiled all of these Cocos and library files, afterwards it won't actually keep doing it. It'll just compile any new files that you've added or changed. So if you make make some changes in a couple of files that you've created, you just compile those files and you'll be quick. The only time you will go through this process again if you clean your solution and you want to recompile. But generally speaking, you just compile the stuff that you just need, and that's automatic. So yeah, let's just wait for this process to complete. There's loads of warnings. We don't need to worry about them. They're nothing to do with our particular project. It's an empty, basically, default project at the moment. It's to do with the external libraries or internal libraries like Cocos that have some warnings based on their code. Again, nothing to worry about. That's for them to fix if they want to sometime down the road. Okay. Okay, looks like it's done. Should launch the exe, and there we go. So we get an error. So that is good. So if you get this error, it says unable to start program or build. So what you want to do is go to external, cmake predefined targets, right click or build, and go to remove. So remove or build. Now run it again. See, as you can see, it's not compiling all those files again. There we go, it is now working. So we have our project right here. So let me close that down. Let me show you where all the project files are. So we don't need to really deal with anything here. If you get an error, and I didn't get this time, I've had it before. If you get another error, when you run it, like the error with, all build, but it's to do with Cocos2d, then right click and remove this one. Otherwise leave it. But you can still use Cocos code. It's just some reason the linking doesn't work properly. So okay, so go to source files, classes. This is where all your classes are. If I go to hello world scene.cpp, and it is, oh, it has opened it up. It's just, this is massive. If I scroll down, I'm just going to make some random change. I'm going to change this to hello world XYZ. I say random, but I did this in literally on all the videos. And if I run this now, this will just compile hello world scene.cpp, and it's not going to go through the process of compiling all of the Cocos files again. As you see, that was really fast. Launched it up, and there we go. It says hello world XYZ. So that is it. And I'm going to close Visual Studio down. Remember, if you want to reopen it, you just double click this. So that is how you create a project for Visual Studio on Windows using Cocos2d-x version 4. If you have any questions, feel free to pop me a message, and as usual, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.